Hey, what's going on? It's Ryan Stewman, and thank you for reading my article in the Scotsman Guide and showing further interest in showing up here. I would love to explain to you exactly what I've got going on as far as my mastermind tribe, but before that, I just want to reward you for showing up here with some free information that if you'll take action on it, you can see almost immediate results in the form of generated leads, relationships with real estate agents, which according to the article you just read is crucial if you're going to try to survive in the mortgage game in 2014 and beyond. And it's also going to show you how to close loans, right? It's going to give you the generated leads, close loans. So track with me here. If you're not using social media for all its glory and everything it's worth, you're missing out. The top brands in real estate such as Keller Williams, Remax, Long & Foster, all the big boys, they're all teaching their agents how to work their sphere of influence on social media. There's no more door knocking, no more passing out flyers, no more kiosk at the mall. It's, hey, sending messages via Facebook, making sure you put your listings out there on social media, using YouTube to video your listings and broadcast what your properties look like on a very large scale. So if you, the loan officer, which we're like one of the few industries, the financial industry, because we're regulated so heavy, it's like we're the last ones to get on board with it. Well, listen, I've worked with your favorite real estate agents that you've seen on TV. I've worked with Josh Flagg, Josh Altman, Frederick Eklund from Bravo's $1 Million Listing New York and Los Angeles. I've also worked with Katrina Campins from Miami, from Hot Listings Miami on the A&E network. And I've worked with the top agents in the country, all through utilizing social media from a mortgage perspective. So what I'd like to share with you now is what's come from my research, being in the social media marketing and management game for over 5 years now, is the 5 social media prime times. Yeah, we're all about 5s over here today at hardcorecloser.com. So the 5 social media prime times are the 5 different audiences and 5 different times that the majority of the people on social media log in. So if you're tracking with me, let me give you the first one. It's called the early riser, and that is from 5 a.m. if you're taking notes, right? Or you can read below, early riser. That's from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. And what that is that's the person like myself that first thing when I wake up in the morning, I grab my phone from next to the bed and I take it with me into the kitchen where I pour me a glass of water and I start scrolling through my calendar to see what I have scheduled today. I start checking my emails and Facebook messages to see what came across in the nighttime while I was asleep. And so a lot of business people, a lot of entrepreneurs, many of us salespeople are these early risers. Like as soon as we get up, we're logging into Facebook, social media, our email, and checking everything. The second spot is the breaker spot, and that's from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. A lot of that consists of the stay-at-home mom that while she's waiting in line to drop her son or daughter off at school, she's able to, you know, hey, whether it's right or wrong, log into Facebook, and in the school zone, mind you, ladies, knock that off, right? But log into her social media platform on her cell phone. Also, it's the time from that 9 to 11 spot to where when she comes home or the employee arrives at the office, that they turn on the computer, they go back to their mobile phone again, which is important to know that almost 90% of the traffic on Facebook comes from mobile devices. So if you think everybody's just looking at your posts via desktop and you're putting stuff on Facebook that really fits on desktop, looks odd on mobile, knock that off, okay? But back to the story. So the breakers from 9 to 11, employees that are waiting on their computer to warm up, they're kind of getting their groove before they really get into it for the day. One last chance for an employee or a stay-at-home mom to check social media before they've got to go on about their business. And stay-at-home dad too. I'm not going to be a sexist on the video. Not for this. No way. No. Anyway, back to the story. So the number 3 spot is the foodie. Now, look, that's from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now, a lot of times, you think of the foodie as just a person that takes pictures of their food and puts it on Instagram. And while that may be some of the people, you also have to think about 11:30. A lot of the people, your processor included, right? But don't tell her I told you that because then your loans won't close. You'll be in all sorts of trouble. But back to the story. About 11:30, a lot of people, they start chatting their friends up on Facebook. They start sending emails out to their friends and they say, you know, hey, where are we going to go to lunch? Hey, where are we going to go to lunch? Where are you eating lunch today? They see where their people are checking in on Facebook if anybody's going to a specific spot to give them ideas of where to eat, because we all know people are indecisive when it comes to lunch. So we eat the same thing in and out. So it's a good time for you to be able, plus, oh, before I even get into that, plus people standing in line, like say if you go to Chipotle or something like that and you're standing in line, nobody's conversating, nobody's like, hey, how's it going? What do you do for a living, right? Everybody's like, you know, in their phones. That's how they do it. So that's a good time for you to have a captive audience that's during that foodie time. So a lot of the people that are on set schedules, such as W-2 employees and stuff, like really a broad audience, because everybody's got to eat lunch after all, right? So the number 4 spot is the afternoon delight. Yeah, we all like that, right? But anyway, so back to the point. point. But that's from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. That's, you know, if you're like me and you finish your work a little bit early because you get to work early and you work your tail off all day long to get done with everything, by about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you're waiting to go home, 5 or 6, you got a little chill time for a couple hours. What do? You log into social media, see what your friends been up to for the day. You might even see what people ate for lunch during that foodie time slot, and so on and so forth. And, you know, unfortunately, it's something that we don't like to talk about, but people do text and drive. And so while a lot of people are stuck in traffic at 5 and 6 o'clock, they're also on their phone. Well, you know, there's nothing better for them to do. I'm saying that that's wrong for the record, but I have to admit that most people do that. So the fifth and final social media prime time is the finisher slot, okay, and that's from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. And you know, the key with this finisher spot is that's the person that before they go to sleep or before they unplug and spend family time or whatever it is, their end of the day, they make sure that they check all their emails, make sure the task on their calendar is done, the messages on their Facebook have been answered, so on and so forth. Matter of fact, a lot of the people that go into the finisher time slot, myself included, will, you know, check out at 6 o'clock, make sure I've got everything answered, go spend time with my family. When I put my son to bed about, you know, 9:30 or 10, I'll log back into social media and my email to make sure that I've got everything taken care of one more time so that I can lighten my load up for when I wake up in the morning. So the most important thing that you can understand is when what two time slots, the two time slots that you usually log into social media, I want you to consider that. Now I want you to consider your prospect. What are the two time slots that they're most likely logged into Facebook? Do you find yourself dealing with stay-at-home moms a lot? Do you find yourself dealing with employees that are engineers that want to talk to you first thing in the morning? Well, those are the times that you should be putting your message in front of the people as you connect with them, as you should be on social media. So the most important and the most trafficked spot on Facebook that I can tell is on Sunday nights between 8 to 10, because there's no good TV on. Football season's over for the most part, and a lot of the games that are on at that time, there's people wanting to chat during them as well during peak football season. But more importantly, people are really starving for content during that time, so it's a great time for you to put your message out. Now that I've given you 5 social media prime times, I'd like to give you 5 ways to connect with people. We're all about 5s over here, I told you that. I'd like to give you 5 ways that you can connect with people using my 5 by 5 by 5 by 5 by 5 by 5 rule, okay? So how that works is, this is on a weekly basis. You take 5 personal chats with somebody. And I'm not saying, hey, rates are low, you should refinance, right? When you send somebody a private chat, that's the last thing you want to do. What you do is you go to their Facebook wall, you see what the last couple of things they talked about, and then you send them a chat message saying, hey, I saw that you talked about your dog a couple days ago, just want to follow up and see if that was okay, and let the conversation flow and progress naturally. Let it flow and progress naturally to where, you know, it leads up to, so how's business? Because that's what we say in America. That's what we always, so how's business treat you? How's life going, right? That's always coming. So just let it flow naturally. But hit 5 people who could potentially give you business, whether it's a real estate agent, highly recommended, a title person, or a retail client. And what you have to understand as a loan officer is that your perfect customer is a real estate agent or a referral partner, not the end person. You'd rather have the goose that lays the golden eggs than just one of the golden eggs at a time, or at least I would in my opinion. So the second 5, so the first 5 is make sure you send 5 private messages to 5 different people a week. The second 5 is make sure that you write on 5 different, this is 5 other people, 5 different people's wall on a regular basis. It could be something like, hey, haven't heard from you in a long time, saw you on XYZ the other day, it was great seeing you, make sure you reach out to me. It doesn't have to be refinance, rates are low, right? It doesn't have to be buy a house, right? That's not what you say. You're striking up conversations with people. We're being social on social media here, ladies and gentlemen. For Pete's sake, whoever Pete is, but Pete, repeat, but back to the story here. I sound like Porky Pig. I was like stuttering a little bit there. Back to the story here. So the third 5 is that you also want to leave 5 comments on people's posts. So as you're, you know, doing your thing and you're scrolling through Facebook, don't be scared to like people's posts. That increases your affinity and your edge rate with them. Don't be scared to comment on their post either. That helps. People put that content out there because they want somebody to say, hey, I heard that, I like it, and I want to put my input about it and give you my opinion too. That's why people do that. So oblige them, will you? So it's 3 3 by 5, 5 by 5 by 5, right? Just like an Arby's commercial. So that's 5 wall posts, 5 private messages, and 5 comments on other people's posts. So now that you know the 5 prime times, the 15 different ways that you can get in front of the people during those 5 prime times, you have what's called the ability to generate leads. And when you pair that with paid advertising, and when you pair that with a conversation that's powerful, a sales conversation that's powerful enough to close 2 out of 5 conversations with qualified leads, which you can generate on will, then you step into a position of power. When you're no longer out there chasing real estate agents because you generate the leads that they rely on you for, and you get to pick and choose who gets to receive that wealth from you, it changes the dynamic of the relationship and puts you in a place of power. And that's what we focus on doing in the Hardcore Mastermind Tribe. I personally right now take on 10 people a month, so this is limited access. I've only got 40 clients right now as we move into April. I've got 10 people for the month of April, and I've got 10 people for the month of May and June. That's the maximum that we take on a monthly basis so that I can serve on a very high level and make sure that everybody that gets involved with this tribe wins. My average producer back there in the tribe is closing $3 million a month. These are people that started out at $500,000 a month, some of them $1 million a month. Some of them are now doing as much as $8 to $12 million consistently in closed production a month. And I've got a tribe of people that are smart, hardworking, dedicated, that get this, that understand and are masters of their craft alongside of me to help take people like you and 9 others to a different level of business that you could never imagine. And we call ourselves hardcore closers because we are exactly who we say we are. We are the best in the business. We don't inflate our numbers. We don't make up any kind of excuses. We don't have large teams of people that we run their numbers either. We work very efficiently using LSD, but not the kind of drug you're thinking of. We're talking about leverage service delivery. If this is something that interests you, the ability to work less, close a higher percentage of your loans, have less conversations but higher qualified conversations that lead to closed transactions and commission checks in your bank account, then please, by all means, fill out the form that's under this video. It'll send your application direct to my desk. I'll review it, and what I'll do from there is I'll pass it on to one of my tribe members. And what they'll do is they'll interview you and see if you're a fit for what we have going on back here, because you've got to get the approval from one of the members of the Hardcore Closer Mastermind Tribe in order to be admitted. So you'll have to have a conversation with one of them. If they like you, they think that you'd be a great fit for the program, they'll make you the offer, and then you can say, yes, I'd love in. Here, take my credit card. I'd love to join and be a part of this and grow my business to levels never imagined before. Or you can simply tell them, thank you for the information. I appreciate you giving me the information and all that stuff, and it's just not for me. So the decision will be up to you once you arrive there. But if you'll fill out the form below, I will review it. I'll give it the first level review and pass it on to one of the tribe members who will reach out to you in a timely manner, because these guys are on top of it, because they like when good, smart people like yourself join the group and can help them and give input that's valuable as well. So thanks again to the Scotsman Guide for allowing me to be in your magazine, and I just appreciate the fact that you took action and arrived here on my website. Now, if you don't do anything else with the information I've given you, you're losing out. But if you'll actually take the information that I just shared with you, process it, put it into action, and do something, you will make money and generate leads from it, I promise. So have a great day. Now go out there and get some money. Close some deals, get some deals, get some deals, close some deals.